Hey everyone, and thank you for coming to Dale Chanel's 48 Squirrel, where we continue to do reviews on The Bold and the Beautiful. We're going to talk about The Bold and the Beautiful today, that aired on September 28th, which was Wednesday. We're going to jump right on into the first scene because it was good, girls. Good girls and ladies and gentlemen, it was good, okay? Woo, the writers got it down this time because Eric was biting everybody behind and he wasn't letting up until he saw red and they were dripping blood, okay? Them butts was so, I'm just telling you. We go into the first scene. We have Eric is telling everyone in the office, you all betrayed me. You all showed me how you loved me by not coming to my wedding, okay? Steffi said, we did it because of Quinn. Eric said, I see how you've treated me. Okay? Even though I married her, you still should have thought about me first. Then Wyatt is saying he made his birth when Quinn was basically saying, why did you miss my wedding? Why did you have to not show up? And Wyatt is just such a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? I just can't take him. He's wimp. He's a punk. But anyway, Quinn is telling Wyatt Eric was totally devastated. Wyatt is trying to make up with his mom little by little. But she ain't giving him up that easy. She's going to make him pay a little bit more too. Quinn is taking shots at Steffi while she's talking to Wyatt and telling him, okay, Wyatt, she still haven't decided to move back in the house with you, right? Even though I'm married now and she just got to accept that fact. But she haven't moved back in. What's up with that? So, of course, Wyatt is looking stupid as usual. Then we go to Eric. Eric is totally disappointed at all of them. Ma tried to explain, but Eric just shut her shit down. He like, I don't want to hear it. I know what was said, and I can't believe you and everyone else bought into it. Then Eric tells everyone in the room they are mean. Because Steph is hollering in the background that Quinn is mean, she's manipulative, she's this, that, and the other. And Eric shut her down again and tell her the only mean streak I really see is how y'all treated her up until the point when I married her. And then you didn't even show up. So I'm looking at more mean people than her and her antics in the past. Because Quinn is not like that person anymore. Okay, then we go to Eric is telling them like he should have told them at the first beginning. But better now than later. Eric is getting in all those jokers behind. And I'm loving every minute of it. We go to commercial, we come back. We hear Wyatt is still thinking and hoping Steffi will come back to him. At least that's what he's expressing to his mom. Gwen tells Wyatt that she wasn't going to marry Eric. She even looked around, saw nobody there to, wish him congratulations, wish him to be happy, all this and the third. And she said, I can't marry you because if your family gonna isolate you and totally abandon you because you're marrying me, then I want no parts of it. But Eric has, got her together and told her, you finna become Mrs. Forrester, okay? And that's all we need to talk about. Then Eric is getting into them individually, and he's chewing their butts up real, real good. I bet they cannot sit down after that mind whipping type of ass whooping he gave them, each and every one of them. First, he went to Pam. He's talking about all that I forgave, all the stuff that you did, Pam, in the past. And Pam was kind of crazy back then. She wasn't taking no medication. She felt that she was the only one trying to take care of mama. She just went psycho over there for a minute. And he was telling her, I forgave you, and I forgave your crazy ass sister, the woman of my children, Stephanie Forster. Because how many times did I forgive her antics? Okay. Then he got into Zende butt. And he's telling Zende, look, son, your mama told me to take care of you, look after you, and I ain't think you supposed to go nowhere but over here with me in my mansion, and we were gonna work things out. I was gonna take care of you and make sure you is very well groomed in the business and this and the third. And this how you repay me by not showing up to your granddaddy's wedding? Then they look like he can't say nothing. And I'm glad he really didn't too much say nothing but fall the fuck back and just let have, okay? Because he really didn't have no reason not to show. He should have been there. Then we move on. After he tells Zen that he's very disappointed in him, he move on to Maya. He tell Maya, I put up with a lot of bullshit from your family, constant bullshit, constant just nothing but back and forth bickering and craziness. And I asked you and my son to come to my wedding, and y'all just slapped me in the face with not showing. And I just can't forgive y'all for that. I have always been there for you. Then he turned to Rick, saying you always whining, saying I'm always taking up for Ridge and this, that, and the other. And I've always stood by you. Even when you made some crazy ass decisions, I still was there for you. But you weren't there for me. He told both of them up. Then he moved on to Thomas. And he told Thomas he thought he was his own man. But he ain't nothing but a little follower. He had that mob mentality that was going on, and he thought he would just jump on the bandwagon. He didn't have too much to say to him no more. He was through. He was like, I thought you was your own man. I thought you were a man. But you showed me you're just a boy. You're just a boy. I was like, go and shut this shit down, Eric. Shut this shit down. I like, damn, Eric, you should have came out there like a G, like you doing now. You should have came on out. And then they would have had nothing to say. Put their behinds in their place and make sure they don't get out of it. Make sure they don't air it. But I was like, oh my God, he was putting them up, shutting them down. So then we went to commercial, we came back. We had Wyatt telling Quinn that they were trying to protect Eric from her. And she tells him, honey, they betrayed him, is what they did. And of course, Wyatt looking stupid and dumbfounded. It is what it is with that Joker. And then we move on to Eric gets on Thorne about Thorne not being his best man at his wedding when he said he was gonna be there. He said, "Oh no, you just sitting up there." He shut his shit down too. He said, "No, you didn't know anything about Quinn. Only thing you heard was what Steffi and Rich put in your ear. You didn't even try to get to know her. You didn't even try to talk to me about her. You just jumped off my bandwagon and went with your oldest brother. Like, what kind of punk mess is that?" And Thorne considering, well, you right, Dad. I'm sorry, you right. You're like, yeah, I know I'm right. I know what I'm talking about. And then he just get on off of him. He probably got on Felicia behind too, but she left. She left town. So he's like, okay, whatever. But anyway, he'll get on her later on and tell her how disappointed he is with her and how he has supported her financially, mentally, physically, anything that a father's supposed to do. He did everything. He did everything all of them, and they still didn't. And brought them their companions, their wives and their husbands. Brought them all in. No, ain't them but love coming from Eric. And then they didn't show no love back to him. And he was getting on into him. He was. Then we go to Eric telling Thomas, you know, well, I did go into that already about him having the mob mentality and joining folks with stuff, joining up with folks, to bring other people down instead of just, evaluating the situation, how he was taught and raised, don't judge the speculations. And, he's like, get on out my face. 'Cause I don't want to see you no more either. But then we go to commercial. We come back. We have Quinn is telling Wyatt her and Eric wedding should have been more happier, more fun feeling. They should have been dancing. They should have been eating. They should have been laughing. But they didn't hear none of that. And as they're talking, they hear Eric. Eric's voice is like, ooh, hoo, hoo, like an alto singing to the Lord. It was high tempered. Do you hear me what I'm saying? That man was getting into their behinds. So they, go closer to the door to see what's really being said and this, but he can tell he's fussing at Bridge and Stephen. Eric is getting on Stephen and hollering at the top of his lungs about the Monte Carlo trip and how she, threw her namesake in the mix, saying she's a Forrester and this, that, and that. And she ain't acting like no Forrester. She acting like a Douglas right now. I mean, it's Stephen and his deceased wife. And he just telling her, I forgave you and your mess, your grandmama and her mess. Why hears him hollering at Stephen, and he asks his mom to go and check on Eric. I'm like, wait a minute, should you go check on your wife? He is tearing into her ass. I said, boy, you ain't never a punk. You shouldn't be married because you don't know how to stand up for shit. You let a woman tell you what to do, whether it's right or wrong, and you obey just like a little lapdog. I can't take it. I really can't. I'm like, why? Sit, go, sit. Just go out the picture, okay? Just go on out the picture. Like you're in a coma or something. I have no more use for you, okay? I don't even want to get into your behind no more because you're just too ridiculous, okay? To even waste my commentary on. So we move on from there. Lastly, he gets on Ridge behind. He also compares him to his arrogant and no good father, meaning his real father, his biological father, Massimo. Okay? And Ridge don't like that one bit. No, he don't. Here it says King Ridge. King Ridge say this, everybody jump. King Ridge say that, everybody go. But when it comes down to old grandpa, y'all can't do shit for me. But get on my goddamn nerves, pretty much, is what he was telling them. And he ain't taking it no more. I mean, he was hollering, he was throwing around his hands, and his body language was like, not no more. I'm not taking it. I'm not going to have you talk about my wife no more and have disrespect in your tone towards her. And it's not going to happen anymore. He just gets to showing his papers out that as soon as he gets this signature on these papers, Quinn is officially his wife. And I'm like, Eric, you mean to sign, you should have signed them papers yesterday, when you got married. I don't know why you holding on like this. And then they notice, Thorne notice he's really, really getting upset. And his breathing becomes labor. So he's basically saying, Dad, slow your roll. Don't get upset. He's like, don't tell me what to do, son. Don't tell me what to do. So, of course, Thorne fell back. Yes, he did. And, of course, Ridge gonna jump up and say, he did what he did because he loved him and he protects and he controls anybody that he cares for. But he would not respect Quinn. And Eric just tore off in his behind again and said, oh, yes, you will. Oh, yes, you will respect my wife. And this, that, and the third. He showed him the envelope that had his marriage papers in there. He said, when I sign these papers, you will respect her. You will not disrespect me no more, nor her. And then, Ridge goes trying to walk out the door on him because he ain't want to hit a mess no more. He said, you ain't finna berate me like you done did the rest of the family in here. I ain't finna take it. And he tries to go out the door and Eric tell him to turn his little ass right back around because he ain't through with him. And he goes on to just waving his hands and hollering. Eric tells Ridge he made him feel alone. And then he just started looking, his vision started getting cloudy, and he's like, he's rubbing his head, like he still want to but, still have the diplomatic side of himself, and like he's in control. But, honey, Eric done probably had a stroke, honey. Once he said, you left me alone, and, down and out when I needed everybody, nobody was there but Quinn. Honey, Eric hit that floor. I was like, oh Lord, the man ain't signed the papers. Queen gonna be out in limbo. That's their way of getting rid of her. Because he might be in one of them comas that he can't talk. He can't make no executive decisions on him, even though she did marry him. That's why women, when we get married at home and all these other places, and the priest sign the thing, or the pastor, whomever, rabbi, sign your little certificate, you need to go and get all them signatures too. But technically, until they really, really are filed with the county, you're not legally married. But I mean, at least Eric could have signed the papers. You know what I'm saying, y'all? But Eric didn't even take the time because he was just so distraught that his family didn't come to his wedding and this, that, and the third. And he just had to cuss everybody out. But, oh, it's going to be something else, honey. I can't wait to see it tomorrow because Eric hit that flow, honey. He hit it. Then, everybody goes and rush to see what's going on with him. And Queen comes in the door and she started hollering, talking about Eric. And that's where it ended, y'all. I'm like, I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm losing sleep. I'm losing sleep because I'm just trying to figure out, oh, Lord, that he don't pretty much advertise that he's married to Queen, but he signed the papers. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, Lord. Woo! But I'm telling you, my writers did well. This particular episode, I was very into it from start to finish. I was like, oh, I need to look at this again, y'all. I need to look at this again. But it's going to get better. It's going to get better. But anyway, y'all, that was The Bold and the Beautiful that aired for Wednesday, September 28th. Look forward to dialoguing with you all again, giving my narratives and my visuals for next episode. Take care. Blessings. Bye.